So what I'm doing is taking off my clicker because I don't have it sticking on properly to the limb. Every single time I shoot it, or if the limb absorbs a little bit of heat, I find that the clicker or the metal that's attached to the adhesive that's attached to the limb, it will start to peel either from the limb or from the metal side of the clicker. So all I'm gonna do is just take it off, and then I'm gonna double the adhesive now to see if that'll give me a better grip. And while I'm doing so, I'll just show you how I set it up and how I make them. So when I take the old one off, all I'm gonna do is just get some rubbing alcohol. Right, you don't need too much. And I'm gonna rub the limb right where I had the clicker attached, and I'm gonna rub the back side of the clicker as well. Okay, just so when it dries, it'll stick to the limb a little bit better. Just throw that to the side. I should have more. There we go. This is my fourth time taking one off, attaching the wall part, the one that goes to the wall, attach that to the limb, and then take the other side off, and then attach that to the clicker. DIY, by the way. And yeah, they'll be attached like that. Both sides are sticky. They have an adhesive on it. So what I'm gonna do now is just take two, and I'm gonna put the wall side to the clicker, right? And then put the wall side to the limb. Take both sides off, and then attach both of the sticky sides to each other, and that should give it a stronger attachment. So whenever I'm shooting this bow, the shock and all that, or if heat hits this or the clicker for a period of time, it doesn't get weak and then come apart. So I'm gonna give that a go, and that should work, with how I'm wording that. That should make sense. And what I'm also gonna do is I'm going to make a video on how I make this, or how I made it. All right, this wasn't my idea. The only thing that I've done different was attach electrical tape, and it kind of dampens the clicking part, and I could tell a huge difference. I don't know if you can on camera or not, but doing so, I mean, it's still pretty, loud enough to hear, but it's not like how it was before. So real quick, I'll go however I made it. Okay, so this metal right here, the silver metal, that is a thicker piece of metal, and it came from this right here. I just went outside and grabbed it. I don't know what it goes to, but it was in a scrap metal pile, so I used it. You can see where I cut it out, right? That's a stronger piece of metal. This tab right here that clicks, that goes to a lid on a jar. All right, you can hear that. You can hear that make that sound. Um, the jar that it went to, it's not a lid like this, okay? It's the one where you take off the side first and then you could take off the top lid separate. Okay, so like a canning jar, I think is what it's called. Um, I didn't use this. So that's going to be this part right here. And I just Sharpied it black. And what I done, I didn't really measure anything. I just cut whatever this was, I just sized it up and made this a little bit longer. And all I've done was grab the pliers, put this side in, and I just fold that part right there onto the can metal or can piece. And I grab pliers and I squeeze it real hard, throughout the whole side, right, all the way down. And all I did was just add my tape and placed it right on top of it. Um, the thicker metal and the thinner metal close to my string. Trying to put it in the exact same spot I had it. So it's close to the string. It's not really touching the string, but if it does, I don't think that's an issue. I think that would kind of cancel the vibration going through the string as well. I don't know if you can really tell that or not, but that's what I did. So what I'm going to do now is, and I didn't come up with this idea. I actually got it from Clay Hayes. I watched a video of his, and I just, it seemed pretty easy, and I replicated it because I don't want to spend, what is it, 10, 12 bucks for one. And I can invest in some more arrows for that money. So, in earlier shooting, I 100% realized that it's still too short for my liking. Okay, I made one that was longer. Or still using this clicker, right? I just cut it off and redo it again and just use a different string. Um, what I'm going to do now is just leave it a little bit longer and then fix it to how I want it, right? And then cut it when I'm happy with it. So I'll probably test it for about 3 days to see if it's shooting the same, if I'm, you know, okay with it. Because I've made this 4 times, and each time that I do it, I'm not happy. I don't feel comfortable in my draw. I don't. I don't feel comfortable in my draw. I don't like how it's performing. Okay, so it goes in through the hole, but I don't want to put the clicker on yet. The reason why is because if I put the clicker on, and then I put the string through the clicker string through the bowstring, and then I slide my string to get into my nock, it's going to wrap around my bowstring. I don't want that. So the way I do it is I go ahead and put the clicker on where I want. I do all that, and I should have a dot on here somewhere. But I put the clicker on, and then I tie a little overhand knot, double overhand. So you just go through it one time, right? Like you're tying a shoe. You go through it a second time, and you just cinch it down as a double overhand knot. And on the clicker, I do a triple. And this is bowstring. So I have, I think, 4 strands or 3 strands tied together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4 strands and it's tied together. Also, to notice that if you twist inward, right, you're going drawing this clicker. It's gonna take less of a pull for you to get that click. If you loosen it, you're gonna have a longer time that you need to pull that click, right? Um, you can also do it where you put it in and you just slide it up or down to adjust, your click as well. I just I'm not twisting it and untwisting it to adjust my clicking. I can if I wanted to or if I choose to, but I'm not. I'd rather just slide it up and down the bowstring. That's the easiest way to adjust it. But what I've done is just because I don't want to use like a ball and chain or paracord or anything like that. I just like the way this looks, and also like how it's not thick, right? I can braid as much. I can throw 2 more strands in here if I wanted to. I can adjust my thickness of it, and it's just what I had on me. I didn't want to buy anything, but I'm going in the same exact spot on this limb. I mean, on this bowstring and on the limb too. I'm gonna go in the same exact spot, and it's 12 inches that I went in at. So my bow, I'm gonna have to remeasure where I went because I didn't have. I had a Sharpie marked on here, like a little dot, but I don't. I think I rubbed it off. Yeah, that's gone. Um, so 12 inches is right here. And this is not at the tip of the nock that I'm measuring. I'm going right under where the string would, and it's kind of tied. You can also string it up, and then that would give you a better measurement of how it's going to be. So you don't want it to be like real close right here. You want to be kind of in the midway of the limb. But I'm just going at the bottom and just going 12, and it says it's about right here. Okay. You know what? To play it safe, I'm just going to string it up. I placed it in the same exact spot. I could just go right off of that, but I'm going to still measure it. And you can tell too, I don't know if you can see that, but when I'm coming in, I'm not even going at the bottom of this because I can't even get the tape measure right there. But I'm going right where it touches the string and then going 12 down, which is exactly where I said, right about there. So I just measured it. Just better be safe than sorry and have to do it again. And all I'm going to do is just mark it with all the way in the bottom. All I'm going to do is mark it with a Sharpie. Just a little dot. It's not going to hurt nothing. And okay, we're going to do this. So right where that dot is, I'm going to place it this kind of in the middle of that dot. Hold it for 30 seconds, rub it a little bit, kind of like I want it to stick on there real good. Okay. And Again, you can buy these for pretty cheap, or you can make them. You know, again, I didn't make this. I got it from someone else. It works. You know, it's really, if you don't have money, or you wanna, you're tight on a budget or something. This actually, it actually works. Okay, it absolutely does a really good job, a good alternative. So you can go and watch this video, and you can go more in depth about the measurements that he used and all that. I didn't go off of that. I just eyeballed everything and went for it. But I think the most important part would be like really spend time on holding that down for 30 seconds and rubbing it in. You know, really try to get it to stick on there as much as you can. Because I just went with one tab each time, and I did this 4 times, and it's not a big deal because I'm still adjusting my length how I want it, so it's not a big deal. But you know, they're sticky on both sides, so I think adding two of them together would actually be a lot stronger. That's what I think. I don't know. We're gonna see, right? Another thing too, this does bend. So after shooting your bow, what I've also done is on the while this dries, sticks together. I'll show you what I've done on this side. Is I just got a rubber band and I just looped that around my nock or my string sets. I have it at 7. My brace height is 7.5, and so each time that I string this up, shoot, and then not shoot, and then string it up again, it usually gets me at 7 and close to 3/4, but not right at 3/4. And then by the time I shoot it and use it again, you know, for about an hour or so or whatever, it will go down back to 7.5, just above slightly 7.5, and I feel comfortable with that. But to not like have to string it up and all that stuff again, all I've done was just tie a rubber band to hold this in place so it doesn't move and it doesn't loosen on its own. And so far, it's done great. So I have no complaints with that. It's very simple. All right, I got my tape on. I'm gonna sit here and hold it for about 30 seconds because I don't want it to fall off. I just got two more left. They're cheap. It's not expensive, right? The store's not that far, but I want to conserve the material when I absolutely need them, right? And try to do a good, decent job. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of extra time and to really make sure these stick together. All right, what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna cut the 2 tabs that are on the bottom to give it a better appeal, I guess. Make it look nice, make it look clean. All right, now that my bow is strung up, this is the part where I go ahead and add the string, now that it's strung, into this right here. And the reason why you don't want to have it in this and set all this up first is because when you string it, it's going to be all twisted around like that. It's going to be a mess because you're still attached to this point on the clicker. But if you put your string in, have it measured where you're going to, you know, want it. And if I go straight down, you can see that's kind of almost aligned with the dot itself, the clicker where the hole goes through. But yeah, it's perfectly aligned, and I don't have to worry about untying it. So now that I have it there, what I'm gonna do is, because I have four strands, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna twist it as much as I want. Okay, then I'm gonna wet the end, the other end. I'm just going to place it inside the hole, and pretty easy. Oh, on the tab too, you have to like puncture a hole in it, and all I did to do that was my knife. I believe it was this one. All I did was got on the the thin metal that comes off of the jar, the mason jar. All I did was just get a piece of my knife and just place it on top and just push down and poke the hole in it. And that's all I did. It wasn't difficult. You can use a nail to do that, just something sharp. But you also want to make sure that you don't puncture a hole too deep or too wide, because that'll play a factor in on how you're going to have it on this side. What how big of a knot you're going to need. And again, with this string, that's why I chose this string, is because it's so, you know, thin. I find it easy to work with. So all I'm gonna do is just, again, instead of doing my double knot, one, two, I'm gonna go one more, three, and that's gonna be a triple overhand knot. I'm gonna cinch that down, and right, it's pretty decent, pretty good. And so now when I pull on that string, right, it gives me free play. Instead of tying the knot around the clicker itself, I feel like that would have an effect on it. I'm not sure, but I think so. I think it would, right? But now whenever I pull, there's a knot on the end that just stops it from going through, and that's what causes tension on it, and it starts to click. So now that I have that, it's done, right? Now I can unstring it. I have the rubber band on. It's gonna keep my same brace height. The string on the bow is not gonna twist one way or the other, so I can unstring it, string it back up, and it's still gonna be in the same position that I want it every single time. So I'm going to trim right here. Very simple. It's not hard at all. It's actually pretty easy. And now all I got to do is just go outside or inside, if you got room inside, and just pull it back and start adjusting to how I want it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. What I am going to do is let this sit a little bit longer, because I don't want to start pulling on it and not give it enough time. So I'm going to let about 10 minutes go by maybe, and just make sure that's really set in place, because I don't want to have to redo all this again. I could tell a huge difference that tape makes. Kind of dampens it a little bit. All right, so all I do now is just pull on this string and set the length. Feels pretty good. A little bit more. While I'm doing this too, I'll go ahead and tie knots. So I kind of know where I'm at. And also I can cut too, because as you shoot, it starts to like go around it and stuff, and that's annoying. Mm, too much. You want to set it up to when you get to anchor, you just got to go a little bit more, pull your trice up, your rhomboid, pull a little bit more when it clicks, let go. So anchor, a little bit more of a pull, release. And you can see like that's getting real tangled up. Feels pretty good. I'm gonna go get some scissors and cut that. Like my mistake before I cut this, I'm gonna do that knot and I'm gonna go a little bit more. So if something does happen with the string tightening or loosening, I can still pull and have a little bit more play. So I'm gonna tie that knot, tie it up here, cut the string, shoot this though first. There we go. No, don't litter. That's not good. Don't litter. So for now, I'm just using this for just to get to my draw consistently every time. And just get really good form. It's been a while since I've shot a traditional bow. And I can instinctively shoot. I can gap shoot. I really don't like to walk the string. I may set one for like 35 or 25 or something. But I just been max I've been shooting is 20. So I don't think I'm gonna shoot farther than that. And hunt season is coming up too, so I may not have this on, or I may keep it on. I think there's pros and cons to everything. if I can get this to like make a very subtle crack or pop, I may use it just so I know I'm getting that same form consistently. So I might try just like that, honestly. If it spooks a deer, then I know, don't use it next time. But I like it. And I like to just, get that pop and just when my tricep pull through that as soon as I hear that pop or that click. And what I'm doing too, I'm at 20, so I'm with this bow build, it's 50 pounds at 28 inches. I pull exactly 28 on a recurve. I'm 29 and 3/4, I think, on a compound because I'm back here on a compound. But on right here with a recurve, so it's 50 at 28. So I'm pulling 50. The arrows are 32. I trimmed them down to like 29. I think the 29.5/8 or something like that. And that's because I left the knock on when I trimmed it. I didn't just trim the shaft. So total, it's about 29.5/8, somewhere around there. And it's 500 spine with a 100 grade tip. So it's a light arrow. Grain wise, I don't know how many grains it is. You can look it up on the it's San Lita Longbow. All of this came with the arrows came included, so you can look that up on their website or online. But it's I kind of want to go down to 400. I want to go to a 400 spine, and I want to have a heavy FOC in the front tip, so I can get max penetration. But with longbows, they say you can't do it because it's not cut to center mass on this bow, especially. So that lighter spine helps with getting around that. But shortening that arrow, definitely, they're flying exactly where I want them. Has me doing the same thing over and over and over, which is important for shooting a traditional bow. This is about 12 to 16 yards. All right, going for the middle. Missed really bad. That was for jumping it. Jumped again. There we go. Keep jumping. So what I'm gonna do is probably pull it a little bit more. Just wanna go a little bit. Because it feels like I'm overextending, and when I release, that's what's causing me to like pop or move. Alright, same spot. Let's see if this. Oh, that feels way better. Maybe a tad bit more. We'll see. Yeah, a tad bit more. I'll make that assumption until I shoot about 2 groups. The arrow kind of flew weird. Oh, I hit the feather on that one. Point of leaving a little bit of extra on the end is because you can adjust. It's very hard to like pull a little bit, but if you get good at it, what I do is just pinch it to my middle finger, pointer finger, and I put tension on that, pull against the bowstring, and then pull the end, the tag end, to shorten it. Do the same thing to make it longer. That's how you like get a little bit of string in and out. But that adjustment I just did should have me perfect at what I want. That was a bad shot. I'm going for the middle on all of these, by the way. That was a bad shot, even though it's a bullseye. And that's the jumping part. So I can't blame that on the clicker. That is me. There we go. Bullseye. So all I'm doing is just putting my point right on the middle of the target. And the reason why I'm missing up and left, that has to do with me either plucking the string instead of letting it come out. And it's also my hand in the front of the bow. I'm grabbing it like this, barely pinching it. So when I release it, it's going like that. So I need to grip it a little bit more. Maybe that'll help me. I'm gonna do one more group. Everything's gotta be the same. Everything's gotta be the same. There we go, it's a little bit better. A little high. Not what I wanted. There we go. Not bad. That one looked good. Can't tell. Definitely saw that one. That was bad. I feel like it's my release hand. Oh no. It's bad on my end. Try to do something different. That one looks good. That one looks bad. To the left. Try not to camp my bow as much. See if that helps. A little bit. Also, too, I'm not going to use this as target panic, so I don't want to release it as soon as it clicks. I'm just using it mainly for getting to my draw every single time. Oh, shit. I mean, oh, snap. Again, the clicker is just to get to your draw or to help you with target panic. Okay, that's really the only thing that a clicker does for you. Um, you can use it for one of those or both of them. Really don't matter. As long as it's anything that helps you get it shooting, I would use it. More power to you. So, yeah, that's the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Doesn't cost anything. It's free. And yeah, when I do get another bow, it's going to be a recurve. I will do a complete breakdown on how I set it up, my brace height, the knock, how I do everything, little tips and tricks that I do. Okay, everything. I'll go into complete the shelf. There's something I do with the shelf as well. I'll do everything completely, a full breakdown. I'll go more in depth on my arrows as well. Okay, these were again at 32 inches. If you don't believe me, it says 32 right there, right where my thumb is, 32 inches. So yes, they were at 32 inches, and the spine is 500. You can look it up the on Google. You just type in Sanlita Archery Royal X8 Longbow. 68 inches is the full length of a bow, and they'll pull up these arrows. That's how I know that they're 500 spine. Um, I'm gonna get a recurve, like I said, and if the arrows are 32 on that one as well, then I'm probably gonna shorten those as well. And I'm starting to see that these feathers right here are starting to tear and rip a little bit. That's been going into the ground, and I'm pulling it out. So if these start to mess up a little bit more, I have one arrow. I have one arrow that's still 32. The reason why I didn't use it is because the knock it broke. So I could take this knock off, put it on this one if the feathers start to mess up. Like these feathers are good, 32. I'll probably show on how to cut it down and um, do all that stuff. Typically, people go with if their draw is 28, they'll go like an inch or two above. They'll do like 29 or 30, or they go 29 and a half. That's just to make sure that you have room off of your draw. You have a little bit of room off of that on the front tip, so it doesn't go past your shelf. So that's a separate video for all that information. But if any more messes up, I'll trim this up, or I'll get some more arrows and I'll do an arrow build because I want to get new arrows anyway for this bow to get a higher FOC on the arrow for more penetration and speed. So yeah, before I continue talking about arrows, that's the end of the video. Again, like, share, comment, do all those things, and then until next time, I'll catch y'all later.